James here from goodguitarist.com, and in today's lesson we're going to show you how to play I'm Not the Only One by Sam Smith. First things first, we have to put a capo on the 5th fret of our guitar, and after we put on a capo, we're going to want to tune up our guitar, just do some fine tuning so that it's perfectly in tune, and we're going to start out with the chord shapes. And if you need any extra help with these shapes, we have a free ebook which goes over all of them much more in depth than what we're going to do in this lesson. So if you need any extra help, please check that out. It's free to all of our subscribers. You can find more information down below. It goes over all the fundamentals of rhythm guitar, so chords, strumming, troubleshooting your chords. So please check that out if you need any extra help. Otherwise, we'll move on with the chord shapes. First, we have a C chord. And for C, we want to avoid the lowest string. Then we have an E major chord. Then A minor. And F. And here I just played an F bar chord, but you can also play it like this. So we're not hitting the lowest string or the highest string. We're just pressing the 1st fret of the 2nd string, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 3rd fret, and I put my thumb lightly over the top so that it mutes that string. We'll also need the G chord. And sometimes I play my G chord like this, especially in the key of C because it's easier to switch from that G chord to a C chord. But you can do it this way, whichever way you like. We go over all the variations of the G chord in our ebook, as well as an easier way to play the F chord. So check that out if you need any extra help with that. So now that we have the chord shapes down, let's take a look at the chord order. We're going to start off on the C chord. 2, 3, 4. Then A minor, F, C. We do this 3 times total. One more. And here it's a bit different. C, G, C. So that's the chord progression for the verse. And now let's take a look at the strumming pattern. It actually goes over all the chord shapes. So it's one strumming pattern with all 4 chord shapes over top of it. I'll do it nice and slow now. 3 and 4 and. So we're starting on our C chord, and the first thing we do is a little downstroke, and I'm only aiming for these 2 strings, for the A string and the D string. And I do a hammer on with my left hand. So I actually start off with my chord like this, with my middle finger ready to play that note, but it's lifted a bit. I pluck them, and then I hammer on to the 2nd fret of the D string with my middle finger. So that's the very first thing we do in the strumming pattern. It's just that. So you might want to practice that a bunch. And if you need any extra help with that hammer on, we also have a lead guitar ebook which goes over all of the fundamental lead techniques, hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides, bends, all that kind of stuff. So you can get some extra practice there if you need it. Anyways, first we do that, and then we do 2 strums, and then we do another low strum where we're just hitting those 2 lower strings. So over the C chord, then we switch to the E chord and we do 2 downstrokes, and that's it. So far, this is what we have. Then we switch to A minor, and then F. And it's really important that you count out loud at first, but eventually in your head, so that you get that A minor chord and that F chord at the correct time. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So see how those chords are on the ands? They're on the off beats. And it's a bit tougher to feel the off beats versus the on beats. So make sure that you're counting out loud so you really nail that rhythm. I'll do it super duper slowly. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's the bulk of it. We're going to be doing that during the verse and the chorus. And then we have a cadence. And a cadence is a way to end a musical phrase. So we do that chord progression 3 times, then we have our cadence, which ends the phrase. And to do that, we start on our C chord, same way. Then we go to G instead of E. Same strumming though. Then back to C. So the pattern's actually the same there, we're just changing the chords. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's all we need to play through the verse. So let's try it together now, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, we're going to learn the chorus. And good news, the chorus is 99% the same thing as the verse. The only difference is the cadence. So we play through our chord progression. And then here, our cadence is, once again, it's almost exactly the same, except instead of going to a G chord, we're going to go to F over G. So to play this chord, it's just like the F chord that I showed you, except our third finger is on the lowest string. So it's 3rd fret, muted, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 1st fret, and then muted. So it sounds like this. So the chorus is pretty darn similar. We're just changing that one chord shape. Let's just try that together now, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, finally, we're going to show you how to play the bridge. And this is super duper simple, just chords and a strumming pattern. It's a new strumming pattern, so I'll show you that first. It goes like this. So that's just root, down, up, down, up. I'll play it really slow. And the root is just the lowest note of each chord. So just aim for the bottom end of the chord. You know, don't strum the whole thing, just the lower notes. And And if you have trouble with that, we can count it out. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. So notice that on 3, I missed the strings. It's like 1, 2, miss, up, down, up. So just try that a few times over each of the chord shapes, make them sound good, and then we can play through the bridge, which is very straightforward as far as the chords are concerned. So let's try that together with the strumming pattern now. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how you play I'm Not the Only One by Sam Smith. And I encourage you to take your time with those strumming patterns. Count them out. Make sure that you nail the rhythm. Because this is a gospel style tune. It's an R&B tune. And rhythm is everything in that kind of music. And that's what's going to make or break your performance of this song. So work out the chord shapes. Get them nice and clean. And then really work out that counting and get your strumming together on this one. It's a really simple tune, but at the same time, it's very subtle. To make it sound really good, you just have to nail all those subtleties. So really take your time with this one. If you need any extra help, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments section below. Otherwise, I hope you have a good time practicing this one, and I'll see you next week.